ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Two Schmoes Show. It's fall, and I really like fucking jazz music when it's fall. I'm Neepthys Orion, and I'm padding out the time, baby. There's no fucking news this week.
Okay. I'm Cairo.
Oh, sorry. Go
And
again.
I'm a schmo.
Oh, he's
No,
also a
no,
schmo.
you're good. I am, in fact.
Happy.
I
Sorry?
I believe
Yo.
I have found another topic.
No, you did not.
I think I did. The
Fuck off.
magical fourth thing to talk about.
Wait. What?
Because it is a really slow week. I literally only had three things before then.
Oh, fuck. Yeah. If I keep doing that throughout the show, I could probably squeeze us an extra 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, welcome to fall, everybody. It's the best season by far. The Starbucks drinks are phenomenal this time of year. Are you a guy who likes coffee, Kyril?
No, not especially.
Fuck off.
It's never. I've just never built up the habit.
Ooh. You see, when we went to college together, I had to develop this crippling caffeine addiction to survive my classes. So,
hmm
hearing your little chemistry privilege right now.
Oh no, I had caffeine addiction. I just did it with my Kickstarts.
Oh fuck, I forgot you have that. Oh, I
Yeah,
tried to fucking.
I'm still rocking one a day at least.
Oh yeah, well I'm rocking like 3 cups of coffee each day and
Yeah.
maybe some espresso on top of that. So, who is the real debilitated addict here?
Me looking at my what is it up to now? 105-hour Starfield file.
Wait, how many hours?
105.
Dude, it took me like 3 months to get to 90 hours on fucking Tears of the Kingdom.
It's just I, it's a very different game, right?
Yeah,
I feel like as story driven as Tears of the Kingdom is, right? Like it has tools that let you sink a ton of time without really doing anything, but it's not nearly in the same way that Starfield is. Where with Starfield, like I can easily spend an hour getting a new gun and going through the process of upgrading it, getting the materials I need to upgrade it, doing research to do that. And then there's like the equivalent of that, but for starship design that I haven't even begun to really dig into yet because I just don't have the resources to do it effectively.
impressive little story there, Mr. Kyril, but may I introduce you to Persona 5?
That is fair.
Persona 5 Royale,
Just like
nonetheless.
I am convinced that all of the Persona games are made for like psychopaths
They are.
because
Thank you for noticing.
they are just so so long.
Dude, I marathoned all 3 fucking games this year. Okay, do you want to know how long it took me for each game and like what my total was for the 3 main Persona games?
I Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so Persona 5 Royale came out on the Switch on 1 second.
hmm
Switch release date October. That is not the right date. Fuck you.
It's like which one?
Yeah, because it wants to give me the original date it came out on the fucking Xbox.
Yeah.
Not Xbox, fucking PlayStation. What the fuck am I saying? Uh, we'll just say October of last year. That monster kept me busy until February of the next year, which is this year. So that's late October, November, December, January, February. 4 months. 4 months of shit right there. And then I immediately started 3, which was the portable version, which is a little more streamlined. And that motherfucker lasted me all the way till May. So there's 3 months there. And I'll tell you this, I didn't get done with fucking 4 until probably early August.
hmm
I have no life. So that was about 10 months of my life.
Yep. Yeah, I played Persona 4 Golden on my Vita on and off for what worked out to like 20 hours ish. And I just got to this point where I was playing it and I kind of thought to myself, it's just like what am I doing? What am I trying to accomplish in this game at this point? And I couldn't really answer that for myself. And then I stopped playing it.
You know, I will say this: I was most excited to try 4 because that was like one of my what's the word I'm looking for? It was my white whale because I remember seeing a
Mhm.
review of it on XPlay and thinking to myself, "Oh fuck, I really want to like try that game one day." And now that I've played it, I gotta say it was probably the most underwhelming Persona game. I was very sad about that. So I understand how
Mhm.
you feel.
Yeah. The music still is great.
Oh, the music was fucking phenomenal.
I have to look into it, but I would almost really like to do like a year in review for video game music at some point because there's been a lot of really good games, but there's been even better music that's come out of it. Or even stuff that's like kind of in the middle, like the Pokemon releases, have unbelievably good music still.
I
I
will
wouldn't,
stand by that. Yeah, I will
yeah,
fight you on that one. That's a good call.
I wouldn't mind just taking like a half hour and be like showcase like, look at this thing. This thing is good.
Can we do like our
But
own like
I'd have to do some
Grammys
research.
for video game music
I'd be
right there?
down with that. That'd be
Yeah,
fun.
that would be
Because
very
there's some
fun.
really great stuff.
I will
Like,
say Tears was probably my soundtrack of the year, but I'm a
mhm.
whore for whenever you take a
it,
sound sample and reverse it.
it's really fucking good.
Yeah.
It's one of the only game. It's one of the only games where I watched a Let's Play. I haven't played it myself,
Hmm.
and the way that they incorporate the score into it to work with the story is just so perfect. It works so well.
Oh, it's so. I
Anytime an open world game can, I think like Destiny is the first one that I think of when I think of it, where they managed to incorporate the same like musical beats and inflections and progressions that you're familiar with, but working that into an open world structure so that they can just trigger whenever. That's the first time I remember it being done really well. And seeing how many games are able to take that and do it themselves now, but doing it with their own twists and their own styles on it is really cool.
I think video game music has come very far,
Mhm.
and what I appreciate about video game music is I'm a guy who doesn't like film scores that often. Very hard for me to like a film score. John Williams is like an exception, not the standard for
Yep.
me. Um, and I was always afraid video game music would be like as we go towards more cinematic gaming, like we would get more and more towards like the cinematic scoring for video games.
Yeah.
But I feel we have not gone that way, and it's been evolving at its own like minutia details for what is a video game soundtrack slash you know
Hmm.
score.
For sure.
Yeah, cutscenes obviously have to have a score, but for like
Right.
actual gameplay, I definitely feel like it's evolving a lot faster lately.
Hmm.
But it's also a lot more money going into video games nowadays.
Yeah, and that's like a whole discussion to be had on itself. Just how much money is being put into entertainment in general has
Yeah,
gotten kind of absurd.
I agree. I fear the day entertainment gets more funding than medicine.
Yeah, I feel like we're kind of there.
You think so?
Yeah, I'm curious. I'm gonna skim real quick, like what movies are upcoming that are releasing and what their budgets are. Like not like big ones, just like, kind of averagey stuff.
Okay,
Things I've
yeah.
heard of but have no interest in seeing. This is kind of a bad time of the year to try and look this up right now. I'm sure I can find one or two.
Well, we can do
My God,
2024 as well.
they're doing a 10th Saw movie. What the fuck?
You're in pornography numbers now, bud.
It is literally called Saw X. Hopefully they kill Elon Musk.
So here's a couple movies I'm seeing slated for 2024. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
we've got Venom 3,
Mm. Yeah.
Deadpool 3,
Yeah. See, I'll
Joker.
say though,
Oh,
I
sorry.
think those are too big.
Yep.
Those are too well known. I'm talking about like literally like Saw 10, Expend 4 Bulls.
L- Literally Who movies?
Exactly. Stuff that has like actors in it that's part of a series that is not going to make its money back.
Okay, here's one for you.
Yeah.
The Movie Critic, Tarantino's last movie.
Mm. Yeah.
Okay. The problem with these is they probably don't want to project their budgets yet.
Probably not. It makes it tricky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're making a
Wonka. Wonka's a good
Mufasa,
one.
the Lion King movie.
Expend. I wasn't joking when I said Expendables. They're making a fourth Expendables movie, but the A in Expendables is the letter four because nobody learned from Van Vorstick.
I was about to say, when will they learn? Despicable Me 4. I'm guessing a Bob Marley biopic.
Yes, I did hear about that. That actually looked kind of interesting.
Bob Marley's a very interesting person. I'm kind of okay with that one. Winnie the Pooh 2, Blood and Honey 2.
Mm. Of course they are.
I mean, you got to do what you got to do. You know, I would love to hear Xi Jinping's honest review of those movies.
Hmm. Let's see here. Oh no, that's not what I want. Film. The film's budget, not the economic policy. Jesus. Okay. So Expendables has allegedly a budget of $100 million. The Wonka movie is 125. The animated movie Migration is 70 million. Have you even heard of Migration?
What the
I
fuck?
haven't.
No, I have not.
I couldn't even tell you who it's made by. I assume it's Illumination. Yeah, it's an Illumination movie. A funny, feathered family vacation like no other. It's literally like a family of ducks migrating, I suppose. Do we
Yeah,
have a cast?
I
Kumail
just looked up.
Nanjiani, Elizabeth Banks, Aquafina, Danny DeVito. Why the hell not? Yeah. The Saw movie, ironically, is the only one that makes sense. It has a budget of around $10 million, which is like what I would expect for this kind of mid-tier thing.
1 million for each Saw movie before it.
I'm prepared to be wrong, but I can't see Wonka being a $125 million movie after what we've seen.
Did I tell you my girlfriend's really excited for that movie?
I don't doubt it. Wait, hold the fuck. You want to take a guess what the Johnny Depp one cost? This is like a goddamn crime.
30 million?
150.
What the fuck?
They made the original one for less than three.
Well, yeah, inflation's a bitch, and also they
But
did
still,
the most
inflation's not that bad.
the most expensive thing in that movie was Gene Wilder, and they had child
Yeah.
actors.
Well, yeah. Well, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
You can. Well, I guess you can't have child actors stay. Whatever.
You know those kids weren't being paid fairly for the original Willy Wonka.
No, they weren't.
You know, actually, fun fact: for the anniversary, they made a board game. It's called Golden Ticket. I have a copy because my girlfriend got one.
Mm.
Willy Wonka's her favorite movie of all time. So we get this, and apparently the children actors didn't want anything to do with like the 30th and this anniversary special that this game was a part of. So everybody's face is blurred out in that game except for Willy Wonka himself because they still have the license for Gene Wilder's face. That is not a sign of a good production.
Interesting. Apparently, I'm trying to skim through the movies here. There's a film coming out this week called Outlaw Johnny Black that
Huh?
I'm seeing described as a spaghetti western comedy.
So an Italian made a Western comedy?
No, it's a comedy based on spaghetti westerns.
That's weird.
Yeah, I agree. This is what you get in September film releases.
Everybody's saving their good shit for the, fucking December.
Yeah, because they're gonna compete with Marvel for sure.
Wasn't the Marvel supposed to come out this year?
I think it still is.
Oh, fuck. I thought that was a summer
Uh,
blockbuster.
Coming soon. It may have been intended to be, but I think it's still releasing this year.
Holy
I
shit, they
saw.
delayed it.
I skimmed. Is it still releasing this year though?
Yeah, November 10th.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that was caught up in like everything that got delayed because they had a bunch of ads running for it like 2 months ago, and then everything got rolled back.
I don't blame them.
I think it's gonna be really interesting to see what all gets rolled back further, like Dune did,
Mm-hmm.
because I doubt it's gonna be the only one. Speaking of rolling back, Rolling Stone co-founder Jan Wenner has been removed from his position as one of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame uh, members after stating some, what did this say, controversial, that's a bit generous, uh, racist and or sexist comments relating to the intellectual quality of black and female musicians.
That's pretty cringe, bro.
He has since apologized, but like, come on, dude. The fuck are you doing? Ironically, apparently, I was reading in some of the people talking about this that he has been one of the people among the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame that has been keeping out a certain number of musicians from entering the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame due
No.
to personal vendettas, such as Foreigner and Iron Maiden. And
Foreigner,
that
I can
may be
understand,
changing.
but Iron Maiden, I think, belongs in there.
Hmm. But apparently, like, if it was on the merits, that's fine. But if he is holding any kind of a personal grudge, that's obviously not cool.
Like, so here's the thing. I think he's just a boomer
Hmm.
because, quite frankly, now is a great time for any musician who's, not a white man. I think he might be a little resentful of that.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Apparently, he co-founded Rolling Stone, the magazine, presumably, in 1967, served as its editor, and then later its editorial director until 2019. He co-founded the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 1987 with its launch.
Good shit. I kind of wanted to check what's in Billboard's top 100 right now. We have not checked that in a while.
Man, the last time I looked, it had like SoundCloud rapper stuff, and it just made me sad.
Oh, no, it's Doja Cat number one right now.
That's, compared to the usual stuff I expect, that's fine.
So this is a little bit back what I was mentioning beforehand. And like white guys in music right now, they're all country, and I fucking hate it. Like number two is Zach Bryan, and then Luke Combs at number three. Taylor Swift at number four, which is really fucking weird to see Taylor Swift not at number one. But I will live with this gladly. Have you ever listened to Cruel Summer by Taylor Swift, by the way?
I haven't.
It is my least favorite song I've ever heard this year.
Really? Well, I'll
Can,
have to look it up then.
let me do a dramatic reading of the lyrics for you.
Okay.
Okay. Fever dream high in the quiet of the night. You know that I caught it, bad, bad boy. Shiny toy with a price. You know that I bought it. Killing me slowly out the window. I'm always waiting for you to be waiting below. Devils roll the dice, angels roll their eyes. What doesn't kill me makes me want you more. And it's new, the shape of your body. It's blue, the feeling I've got. It's a oh, whoa, oh. It's a cruel summer. It's cool, that's what I tell them. No rules in unbreakable heaven. But oh, whoa, oh. It's a cruel summer with you. Hang your head low in the glow of the vending machine. I'm not dying. You say that we'll just screw it up in these trying times. We're not trying. So cut the headlights and summer's a knife. I'm always waiting for you just to cut to the bone. Devils roll the dice, angels roll their eyes, and if I bleed, you'll be the last to know. Oh, it's new, the shape of your body. It's blue, the feeling I've got. It's oh, whoa, oh, it's a cruel summer. It's cool, that's what I tell them. No rules in breakable heaven. It's whoa, oh, oh, it's a cruel summer with you. I'm drunk in the back of the car, and I cried like a baby coming home from the bar. Oh, said I'm fine, but it wasn't true. I want to keep secrets. I don't want to keep secrets just to keep you. And stuck in through the garden gate every night that summer just to steal my fate. Oh, and I screamed for whatever it's worth. I love you. Ain't the worst you ever heard. He looks up green like a devil. And then it just does the um,
Yeah.
same thing over again.
Mhm.
I don't like that chorus at all.
Yeah, I don't know. This is the kind of thing like seeing the Billboard list like this. I hear a lot of stuff that I listen to, and it's just like, oh yeah, this is kind of like it has parts that remind me of pop music that would have been out when I was, younger, like 10, 15 years ago.
Oh yeah, pop
And
music
then I
hasn't
go and
changed.
see yeah, and then I go and I see what pop music is now, what the popular music is,
Mm-hmm.
and it's so different. It's like, oh, okay,
Shout out
why not?
two things on this list I'm seeing.
Hmm.
Flowers by Miley Cyrus and Used to Be Young by Miley Cyrus. She's gotten really good as a songwriter lately. I really like those
Really
songs.
interesting.
Yeah.
Also, shout out Jimmy Buffett with Margaritaville coming back on after his death. That's really sad, but kind of cool to see.
Let me see real quick. We did lose Jimmy Buffett recently, didn't we?
Yeah, like last week, week before.
September 1st. So about 2
Yeah,
weeks ago.
yeah. Re-enter down the Hot 100 at number 38.
Damn. I didn't really realize he was a humanitarian like that.
Yeah, I always still have trouble whenever because I haven't listened to Taylor Swift in probably 10 years, probably longer than that. So I still think like country music adjacent, and it's not at all anymore, which makes sense because her style has gotten to be a lot more pop centric. But I always forget, and then I hear something, it's just like, oh yeah, that's right.
My girlfriend is becoming a Swifty, and it is
Mm.
quite the new life I'm living. Like she listens to a lot of current pop, which she's allowed to, you know.
Of course.
Yeah, and because of that, I've become very well acquainted with pop music lately.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing is that pop music is popular for a reason generally,
Yeah,
even if it is some of it can be a bit lowest common denominator. It's usually made by people who have a pretty significant amount of talent behind them still.
I mean, I haven't heard a song like I may not like it, but I haven't heard something that I
Right.
thought was just straight up offensive.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, God.
Oh, yeah, apparently we have the Napoleon movie coming out this year still.
Oh shit, yeah, that's like trying to be Lincoln, but for French people.
Joaquin Phoenix as Napoleon Bonaparte.
I don't know why, but that sounds amazing.
Yeah. It's not a great sign that they only have one picture posted on the Rotten Tomatoes page.
I felt like Oppenheimer was that way too until it came out and then it was literally everywhere.
Apparently produced and directed by Ridley Scott,
What?
the Napoleon movie.
That's weird.
Yeah, it is weird. I would not have guessed that. Oh no, I did hear about that because it was the same time people were talking about Oppenheimer, where it's like all these story directors are coming out and doing these like high budget, big cast biographic things just sort of because they can.
Why not?
Right. Like who's gonna stop you?
Biopics are doing really well lately. And like
Yeah.
it's where we get this meme of like the musician biopic cuz like
Yep.
Rocket Man, Bohemian Rhapsody did very well, and it's kind of why I think we're getting this Bob Marley one.
Yep.
Yeah. But, here's Oppenheimer fucking dethroning Bohemian Rhapsody. Probably
Mm-hmm.
because of Barbieheimer, but I will still
To a
take the
degree.
W.
So the extra topic that I forgot about.
Yo.
Unity game engine.
Oh, fuck.
Fuckery.
How did we forget about Unity? What the fuck? That is the big story.
Yeah. So Unity, the game engine developer used by a
Everybody.
lot of people, pretty much every, not every, but a significant percentage of independent developers in particular,
Yeah.
because there's lots of bigger studios that develop their own engines, but then have them stay proprietary or license them out or would license them out for ridiculous sums.
Mm-hmm.
And Unity has came in and sort of filled the gaps. It's like Unity and Unreal are the two big ones. And I've actually heard a lot of people complaining about how dare Unity make Epic look like the good guys in anything.
This is back to that there's more money in entertainment nowadays thing we were talking about
Yeah.
earlier. Because this is
Yep.
100% just corporate greed trying to squeeze more money out of a very frugal industry.
Yeah, I was trying to find better like high level stuff about it because we're like a few days sort of behind the news on it, so everything's talking about like more analysis and details and stuff.
Yeah.
I was having a hard time finding the actual details of what the Unity changes are. It's all about, like the developers fighting back against it, which is awesome, but
Yeah.
it's hard to find the primary stuff. Starting January 1st, 2024, all games that use the Unity engine will be charged 20 cents for each game installation once it hits a threshold of $200,000, or sorry, 200,000 downloads and $200,000 in revenue. A lower charge and a higher starting threshold, 1 million in sales and a million installs, will be offered for higher tiers of Unity subscriptions that start at about $2,000 per year.
That's fucking stupid.
It's a change from Unity's previous monetization system, which offered the engine and installation for free, but then relied on advanced software subscriptions and integrated advertising platform and paid analytical tools.
Yeah.
While Unity has clarified some misconceptions after the news broke, such as not charging for multiple installations of the same game from the same user and not charging for game demos, the new monetization makes Unity far less attractive to the. But that's also not true. Where it is true that they won't charge you for multiple installations of the same game on a device, but say you have a PC, a laptop, and a Steam Deck, and you install the same game on all three of those, that does count as three installations.
What kind of person has more than one gaming device, Kyril?
Can't imagine.
You're just coming up with the worst case scenario to make them look worse than they already are.
The thing is, though,
Yeah.
because that's the case, it opens up the possibility for people to like install bomb games they dislike.
Yeah, isn't that fucked up?
Yeah. So like if somebody has a free game and you don't like them, you can coordinate with other people to install that free game as much as possible. And if it causes it to go over the threshold, that developer is then in debt to Unity to what 200,000 times point 0.2 for $40,000,
Damn.
which is a lot of fucking money. And that's kind of the problem with this is that when you look at like every other major platform, the Google Play Store, the App Store, Epic Game Store, Steam's Store, all of them have adopted the sort of like progressively scaling model of service charges
Yeah.
where when you release a game on it that's or a service that's paid, you don't pay them anything until you reach a threshold, which is usually like $1 million. And then after that, for everything you earn past that $1 million, you start to pay a percentage of that. Having this be retroactive as it is the what I feel like is the biggest problem here, where it's like legally kind of murky and then also placing this unrealistic burden on the developers themselves.
It is actively predatory, in my opinion.
For sure.
Yeah, there's like no good reason why you should do that. Um,
No,
what even are you hoping to generate with revenue from that? Because all you're going to do is like you might have a jump in revenue right away, but you're just going to lose business after that.
it is noteworthy to point out Unity's current CEO, John Riccatello, who is a gigantic piece of shit and an idiot and bad at his job in every measurable way. Riccatello was an executive at EA from 1997 to 2014. He was CEO at EA. During his time at that tenure, he was notably quoted as the guy who said that game developers are stupid and idiots for under monetizing their projects.
I
He
remember
was then
that.
let go from his position at EA for not making them enough money.
So even EA has standards.
Yeah. The standard that this guy meets is not high enough for EA, Electronic fucking Arts.
Sounds like he was an idiot that under monetized his games.
Um, a couple other quick things to highlight here. I've seen a lot of talk, not a lot of talk, but enough that is worth mentioning. Um, just to hopefully kind of try to like dissuade it. There's been a lot of articles about how a number of Unity executives sold shares in the company in the week prior to the announcement, which sounds scuzzy in the first place, but it is very important to note that the majority, if not all of those executives, receive a substantial amount of their pay in the form of stock, and as a result have to trade it, or they have to sell it
Mm-hmm.
to get it into other forms pretty regularly. Uh, Getting a shitload of rain here all of a sudden. I was like, what the fuck is that noise? My air conditioner running for some reason? No, it's just raining really hard.
We have no rain where I'm at, so you're a fool.
Wild. Yeah, it's all in my head. Um, but the guy in charge of Unity right now is a giant idiot and a corporate scumbag. So, with that in mind, the decision isn't that surprising. I've also seen from a number of game developers some uh, mixture of obvious frustration, disappointment, outright, just giving up on projects or no longer offering them because of these changes. Cult of the Lamb's Twitter told gamers to buy it now because they'll be deleting it on January 1st. Because, I mean, yeah, they can't afford to pay 20 cents per installation. So they're not going to be offering it anymore. A number of, excuse me, a number of other small studios I saw a really good, because it was like the exact same formatting as like the big screen of all of the big company apologies, but it was for indie developers, all with their own little like Twitter picture that they had posted that was just like, fuck Unity, we're not doing this.
Yeah, why should
Because
they?
a lot of people are upset with it.
Yeah, no
Notably,
shit.
Unreal 5's monetization scheme is like what I was describing for the App Store, free to use up to $1 million in revenue with no charges based on the number of installations, which makes sense.
Yeah,
It's a good way to offer your program for indie developers to use while also getting a pretty substantial cut for games that actually start to make money. A large part of this is also worth noting is that uh, even if Unity goes and completely changes this policy and it never gets implemented, this has already sort of pushed it down the road, and a very large number of developers are going to be dumping Unity regardless at this point,
you
whether
know,
these changes go through or not.
it makes me wonder about all the games that are in Unity that are being developed right now.
Yep.
How many of them are just going to like stop and then get ported to a different engine? Because at this point, fuck
A
that
lot.
noise. Yeah,
Let me see if I can find the picture real quick, because that was exactly what I was saying. It was like 50 independent game developers that were like, we use Unity, we're not going to be using Unity anymore. We're sorry. Changing to a new engine is going to take time. Um, oh, another thing that I thought was very amusing is that under the initial Unity wording, because they're all doing this like as they fucking go, they have no idea what their actual plan is. Um, there's a question as to how this would work with things like Game Pass or NVIDIA Shield applications.
Okay, yeah.
And the, implication for Game Pass would be you're installing the game locally. It's an install. How do they track that? And Unity has since backtracked and been like, oh, no, 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 we're not going to be doing that after Microsoft started to threaten their lawyers coming out.
You know what else was made in Unity?
What's that?
Uh, what's their fucking names? One second, let me get the name. Oh yes, Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl were made in Unity.
Really?
Yes.
That's hilarious.
I am kind of hilarious, waiting to see how Game Freak explodes.
Well, so I highly doubt the retroactive portion of it is in any way going to hold up under scrutiny by a court of law. It just doesn't make sense that you can just have a contract with someone and then after the fact decide to go and change it to apply to everything. I think a good analogy that I thought up for it would be like uh having a car that you're working on
Mm-hmm.
and you go and get $1,000 worth of parts from O'Reilly and you put them in the car and then you sell the car after. And if you sell that car for more than $40,000, at that point, you all of a sudden have to start paying O'Reilly a percentage of your sale
That's a
for
really good
some reason.
example. Yeah.
But it's like, exactly, it makes no sense.
So, other than tanking all future sales, what else do you
Mm-hmm.
think their big long-term strategy is?
I genuinely don't know. I can't see like the only way that this gets turned around is, it's going to have to take either major shakeups in their executive or something else happening that causes people to forget. And not just people in particular, right? Because these are developers.
Yeah.
Developers are like practically inhuman with how different they are from the average person when it comes to things that relate to their job in the internet.
No,
They aren't gonna forget.
they're
They
fucking
don't
stupid,
forget.
man.
They're
They don't monetize their
yeah.
games right.
They're under monetizing. If you just monetized your games better, you'd be able to afford it, you fucking idiots.
I just don't understand how people do this. You mean to tell me you just give a demonstration of the game for free? I don't go to a fucking store and get samples for free. Except you do.
Except you do.
Except you do.
At like all of the ones that people actually like.
Yeah. Do you see McDonald's giving out hamburgers for free?
So they
Checkmate,
like
developers.
actually do that in their app.
They do?
Yeah.
Oh,
That's the
shit.
only reason I have the McDonald's app downloaded at all is because like every other month or something you can get like a free fries or a free burger or something like that.
Holy shit.
Free nuggets.
That's badass.
It's actually like fine. For someone who like doesn't ever have McDonald's, it's just like cool. Sure. I'll go buy a drink and get some free nuggets. Why not?
Why not, dude?
Yeah. Why not? It's free food. And it's not horrible, right? It's fucking McNuggets.
I mean,
Who doesn't like McNuggies?
very different kind of people.
True.
Game developers. They're just so
Game
different from you and
developers.
I.
I know on like good authority that that's not true. Game developers go to town on a platter of McNuggies.
Was this dude like watching the old fucking Jim Sterling videos? Where Jim was always complaining about all the fucking Unity games on Steam, and they were like, what an untapped market.
Oh yeah, probably.
What is Jim Sterling doing nowadays?
I actually don't know. I haven't followed them in a long time.
Yeah,
They started to do more of the like wrestling stuff, and I was just like, it's not really for me. And I just sort of tuned out. But I did also tend to tune out of like the angry Joe crap too. It's just like this is not the energy I want in my life anymore.
yeah. Have you realized that it's just like all about vibes nowadays? I
Yeah.
think it's really something COVID did for a lot of people.
It could be. For me it started before that, but that might have been like the turning point for sure.
Yeah,
Where it's just like I want to listen to somebody talk about uh lore for an hour and a half, not angry video game news. The angry video game news is important, but it's not important for me right now.
but you also need is like your angry video game reviewers. You know, what I mean, those are an
Oh,
ancient
they're
style of YouTuber.
yeah. What I was gonna say, it's a an artisan form of content creation, artisanal.
Artisanal. Going back to the old days. God. Could you imagine being like, for the sake of argument, the angry video game nerd, right? One of the original like big names on YouTube, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. Could you imagine being him nowadays, and then you just see shit like who's popular on YouTube right now? Big names. Um,
Mr. Beast.
yeah, seeing fucking Mr. Beast and just like going, what are they thinking?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is? I am curious. I always get amused every once in a while to be just like, what's actually trending? Of course, it's literally Mr. Beast.
Is oh my god, he's number two.
Yeah, football starting up, so that makes sense. Apparently, The Rock was on WWE, so that's there.
It's so normy.
Hmm. There's some good video game stuff though. Summoning Salt's right there too.
Summoning Salt's very underrated. Makes me
Yeah,
happy to see him in fucking trending.
interesting.
What's up?
And then there's like the actual like exactly what I would imagine kind of clickbait stuff too. Wild. Kids these days.
What? What are the kids these days doing on your trending tab?
Oh, it's exactly what you'd expect, right?
Oh.
There was a okay, this is not what I expected. Apparently, one of the trending shorts, I have no idea. It says Red Flags Meme 23, Ohio. But the thumbnail for it is just a picture of a Minecraft character that's been modded to have gigantic breasts.
Oh, cool.
So, like that's what I mean by exactly what you would expect. Shit like that. Blatant like video game clickbait stuff.
Nah, dude.
There's a meme I saw for specifically for Rainbow Six YouTubers, but it's the same for literally every competitive video game. Where somebody took that, there's a meme of somebody that's just like, my metamorphosis will be agonizing and horrible. My skin, and it's like they're turning into like a puddle of blood, and then the last one is just like the most stereotypical YouTuber thumbnail you can imagine. It's just like, yep, that's exactly accurate.
Oh, did you hear about Walter Isaacson's book on Elon Musk came out?
No.
Oh,
Oh no,
yes.
maybe I did. I'm not 100%.
I remember
That
because
sounds
Twitter would
familiar.
find a highlight every day and it would be like the funniest thing ever.
Hmm.
And I can't find any of them because I thought it'd be fun to just point and laugh at him.
Yep. 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 Speaking of pointing and laughing, Russell Brand has been accused of rape and sexual assault. He denies it. It's probably somewhere in the middle.
I mean, I can see it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Like, I feel like nobody can look at Russell Brand after like 2008 and be like, oh yeah, everything that guy does is on the up and up.
Yeah.
He just looks sleazy.
Doesn't he though?
Like it's the same problem with every person that gets to his amount of wealth. You can't get to that amount of wealth without being some kind of an awful person in some part of your life.
Really, you're right, but it's also kind of disturbing.
Like there's a part from after Bezos's divorce where his wife was like trying to give away his money as quickly as she could for a time, and it was apparently genuinely challenging where she was running into like legal donation limits with places and the money was accruing income so rapidly because the scale of it was so large.
That's sad.
It is genuinely sad.
Like,
Like literally can't give this away money. She like tried the whole like what was it? Like if Bill Gates has $100 bill fall out of his pocket every second, he's making money kind of thing. It was literally like that.
we live in a broken system if that's a
Yeah,
situation.
yeah, we absolutely do. So, four women have made allegations against Russell Brand as part of this investigation. One, that he raped her in his LA home. She was treated at a rape crisis center that same day. The Times says it has seen medical records that support this. The second, that Brand assaulted her when he was in his early 30s and she was 16 and still at school. She alleges he referred to her as the child during an emotionally abusive and controlling relationship. Third claims that Brand sexually assaulted her while she worked with him in LA and that he threatened to take legal action if she told anybody about her allegation. And the fourth alleged being sexually assaulted by him and being physically and emotionally abusive toward her.
What the fuck?
And he denies everything. Apparently, he has backslided into the like YouTube, guru lifestyle.
Oh, that lifestyle? The Jordan Peterson
Yeah,
lifestyle?
Jordan Peterson, Joe Rogan, podcasting, they're gonna come for me kind of bullshit.
They're turning the frogs gay.
Yep.
What the
Yep.
hell?
So, as part of an investigation that is, what was this? Made in a joint investigation by the Sunday Times, which is a British publication detailing the allegations of the four women.
Yeah, I got nothing to say about that. That's gross.
Yep, certainly is. We also have the United Auto Workers strike.
Yo.
Unions showing once again how they are very effective. United Auto Workers, let me see actually how many people they have. Uh, membership number. I'm curious. I know it's very large. 430,871 members at their peak in 2017. Currently on the decline.
Well, yeah, clearly they're going to be on the decline, Kyrol. Being in union is bad.
Apparently, they're on a bit of an uptick in the last couple of years. They added 10,000 new members in 2022.
Oh,
So
shit.
that's cool.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But the United Auto Workers have started implementing rolling strikes targeting the big three automakers Ford, General Motors, and Stellantis. This is specifically in relation to pretty reasonable, honestly, issues that they have with stagnation of UAW workers' pay, while the pay of the CEOs of the big three automakers and also other executives has increased to the tune of about 40% over that period. As a
Fuck.
result, the UAW is asking for the same for its employees. 40% raise in pay, along with other things, including better guarantees of health insurance coverage post retirement and reduced hours in general, which is also kind of a notable one and probably doesn't ever actually become a reality. Where one of their demands is a 4-day, 32-hour work week without pay cut, which would be really fucking cool, especially if that starts to trickle over into other industries. But as vehemently opposed to that as American corporations have been, it seems like quite a long shot.
Yeah, I. More power to them. I would say that we probably get a lot more done if it was like 32-hour work weeks.
For sure.
Yeah,
And that's what we've seen. That's what every study that has been done with it confirms that
yeah,
when you have people work fewer hours, doing less, but with more people, the ultimate costs or the it does not impact the revenue of the company because productivity goes up, worker happiness and enjoyment goes up, and it ends up washing out in the long run, where the company is making just as much because its people are doing better work, and the people are happier because they are working less, obviously. They get to spend more time doing what they want to with their families and shit.
yeah. I just feel like as a society in general, we would just be more productive as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
And we already are. That's one of the really frustrating things that when you hear about, how, oh, pay is getting too high. I've heard that so many times in discussions and on the internet, where it's just like, okay, but people are doing so much more with their time than they did before.
yeah.
Individual productivity has skyrocketed over the last 15 years through automation, digital tools replacing physical ones. So much has happened that has made individual productivity go up that seems to get ignored. The UAW has started to implement rolling strikes, with the first being at Ford's Michigan assembly plant in Wayne, with about 4,600 hourly workers walking off. A GM plant in Missouri with 4,100, and a Stellantis plant that makes Jeep products in Toledo with 5,200 workers walking off. Already, the automakers are seeing knock on impacts from that as the materials that are made at those facilities are not arriving at other plants and causing delays and backups at those facilities. And in what the UAW president is describing as sort of combative, as the automakers sort of using their workers as bargaining chips rather than treating them like the people they are, I believe all three of the automakers have started to implement temporary layoffs for the secondarily impacted plants
What?
where they're not getting the materials that they want, so they're not paying their people,
Oh,
which is,
that's
I'm sure,
rude.
doing great work to harbor goodwill amongst their employees.
The auto companies, and I'm speaking as a guy from insurance right now,
Mm-hmm.
really pissed with them lately.
Yep.
Not exactly happy with how they've been handling supply chain issues. This is not going to help one bit,
Nope.
and it's going to affect insurance stuff. I can tell you that.
Yep.
Yeah.
For sure.
But I don't think most people realize. Here's a fun insurance fact for all you kids out there, right?
Mm.
Um, if you get collision coverage on your fucking vehicle, keep in mind the ability to repair that vehicle is a big impact on how much your fucking collision's going to cost. So the
Mm-hmm.
last thing you want is like a vehicle that has really hard to fucking get parts. Because let me tell you that it's going to ruin your day. It's going to ruin your week. You're basically just going to have to pray that your vehicle is always going to have the right parts. And let me tell you, ever since COVID, not exactly an easy thing to support. And now they're laying off people, which is fucking
Mm-hmm.
great,
Yep. It's a good look.
isn't it?
So, notably, in this instance of striking, it seems like the automakers are more open to active discussion than like what we're seeing with the SAG-AFTRA WGA strikes, where the companies involved were not even like bordering, they were just being like insultingly indifferent to the demands of the strikers. Um, in this case, both Ford, GM, and Stellantis have come back with counteroffers detailing a immediate 10% pay raise, with that going up to 20% over 4.5 years, which is about exactly half of what the UAW has asked for in their demands, and doesn't talk at all about the other demands that they've made. UAW has declined these offers, continuing to strike, of course, and they are, continuing to squeeze them. We saw a similar strike in 2009, I want to say, that
Mm.
cost automakers billions of dollars. And the UAW knows that. They know how much the automakers stand to lose again. So we'll have to continue to see how this plays out. But it seems like the UAW has played a strong hand and maybe in a good position to get some favorable negotiations for themselves.
I support it.
Yep. UAW President Sean Fain has been doing a lot of media circuits and seems to be currying a lot of favor with his position. And it's uh, easy to see why. There's been a lot of notable political figures, former President Obama. I saw a comment from Cory Booker, whose father, I believe, was a former UAW union official. And notably, even current President Joe Biden have all offered statements in support of the strike. Biden's in particular comes across as the most surprising, given how his administration treated the railroad strikes earlier this year, late last year. That was handled quite unfavorably, I would say, from a pro labor perspective. So having his support on this is a welcome change, even if it seems like it's more out of political motivation rather than genuine belief.
Oh, yeah, I'm convinced it's only because there's an election coming up.
Yeah, which that's how the game works.
It really
I
is.
am all in favor of the Democratic Party towing more, pro individual labor line than they have in the past. If that's what it takes to do it, so be it.
Fuck, I'm so scared about this election.
Hmm. We also have had, just while we're on the topic, plenty of small updates related to the various criminal prosecutions that are befalling on former President Trump's lap. But there's nothing of particular note, I don't think, to talk about. I'm going to do a quick scan here to see if there's anything, but most of it that's been notable is just later court dates that have been set significantly ahead of the 2024 election.
Mm.
So there should not be any chance of him trying to, wiggle out of like, oh no, it's too soon, it's too close to the election, you're going to influence it.
Yes.
There was a really good one. I want to say it was from Mark Meadows, where he had some appeal on asking for like a date to be moved, where his one of his arguments was basically like, this looks bad for me.
Yes.
It's like, no shit, you don't say. It is also welcoming to see both the cases in New York, as it relates to the January 6th committee, and in Georgia, proceeding at what seems to be a quite rapid pace. Not rapid, rapid's not the, steady. Progress is happening regularly because we have also had updates from Florida on the Mar-a-Lago documents case where the opposite is happening, to everyone's immediate surprise, given the judge involved, who has no contradictions or no conflicts of interest in her decision making whatsoever.
I'm starting to sense a little bit of doubt from you, Mr. Chiral.
I wonder why.
Is it because you are sexist, Lady Judge? Maybe.
Those damn lady judges.
Lady Judges be bad in your eyes, Mr. Chiral?
Definitely not because there's a well documented history of bias amongst this one judge that would lead any rational person to assume that they have some amount of impropriety ongoing. It
Well,
has to be sexism. That's the only thing that makes sense.
you know, if like the RNC, GOP, whatever they want to fucking call themselves, like had half a mind, they could really pull some like stupid moves.
Mm-hmm.
If you've good stupid moves, but you know what I mean. So yeah, I'm canceling Mr. Chiral there. Please, everybody on Twitter, cancel my friend here for being sexist against the corrupt lady judge for being for being a judge.
I'll say though,
Yes.
related to that, I've been uh Starfield, I've mentioned this a few times, runs on Steam Deck, not well, but it runs well enough that I've actually found myself barely using Twitter anymore.
I'm jealous.
Yeah. It's like I could be on Twitter and getting angry at stuff, or I could go farm money from vendors.
That's like the pleasure of a good video game. Is just it keeps
Hmm.
you a fuck off Twitter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a good feeling. I believe that's the big stories I have. There's some Hunter Biden crap that's so fucking stupid. I'll give like the cursory mention of this, right?
Yeah.
So allegedly, Hunter, or I guess not allegedly, Hunter Biden has been charged under the crime of applying to purchase a firearm and being in possession of a firearm while using federally illegal drugs, which is a charge that very rarely happens at all because, like, marijuana is a federally illegal drug. How many marijuana users do you want to bet there are that also have firearms? Quite a few. It's also a charge that is used rarely because of its possible Second Amendment implications and the idea of it, obviously contradicting that. But they are going for it with Hunter Biden, and we'll see how that plays out. Like the big thing with it is that with the way that the actual form that you have to file with the federal government is worded, he could just genuinely have a legitimate have filed for his firearm legitimately, right?
Hmm.
Where the phrasing of it sounds like it says like, "Are you an active user?" Not "Have you ever used?" And with the way he answered, if that was his understanding of it, that would not be inaccurate, according to him. According to
What
him, he was in rehab at the time, was doing well, and he was not actively a user of cocaine.
wasn't there an impeachment started for Biden as well?
Probably. It seems like they do that every third week.
Yeah. They never get
Let
that
me
far,
see.
do they?
Biden impeachment inquiry. Paints a picture of a culture of corruption. Allegations of abuse of power, obstruction, and corruption warrant further investigations by the House of Representatives. What is he actually claiming though?
We are claiming that there is an impeachment needed.
Hunter Biden was indicted this week on gun charges. This NPR article is not useful.
Well, at least you didn't have to pay for it.
Is that literally all that they're claiming?
Wait, what are they claiming?
A culture of corruption.
That's it?
That's it.
What the fuck is a culture of corruption?
That is a good question that apparently has not been answered.
The fact
Republicans
that
have accused Biden of profiteering from the foreign business ventures of his son, Hunter Biden, while serving as vice president from 2009 to 2017. Hunter Biden has been the subject of several investigations over the last few years, and none has presented substantial evidence supporting McCarthy's claims. He said Tuesday that House Republicans uncovered serious and credible allegations into President Biden's conduct. Taken together, these allegations paint a picture of a culture of corruption.
it's amazing there was not a single subject in that whole paragraph you just read.
I guarantee, because the only thing that they've been able to dig up in the past that has always painted Biden as actually the good guy in all of these situations, but because the Republican leaders are so heartless and awful, they don't recognize how shitty their arguments actually make them look. If it's anything like what they've tried to dig up in the past, it has always been President Biden supporting his son Hunter, who is, by all accounts, kind of a shitty person.
Yeah.
He's a drug user. He's tried to peddle his father's influence and the family name to his own benefit. But as far as anybody has actually been able to find, none of that has actually involved President Biden himself. It's always been Hunter just using the family name. But for the president, his wife and multiple of his children have already died, and this is like his only son left. He's not going to turn his son away. He's going to support him in any way that he can.
The shitty thing, and I think it's been really sad for the Republicans doing this, but like Biden is and I'm not saying this as like an all in all term, but he does do a lot of the things that they preach,
Yeah.
and it's very hard for them to like, for as a political opponent, they have to take him down. But
Hmm.
it's also like you can't use your own values against him because he's using your values.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
yeah. The what I'm going to call derangement of the Republican platform is so fascinating to watch happen in real time. Where there is this huge thing on Twitter of some mayor in like Kansas or something that was recently elected. And Twitter level pundits were trying to slander the guy, posting pictures of him with his family. And it's just like a regular fucking family picture. It's a dude with his wife and their two daughters.
Mm.
They're straight. They're not trans. There's literally fucking nothing happening that makes this anything less than the most stereotypical American nuclear family. And Republicans are livid about it. These specific pundits on Twitter. And it makes no fucking sense because they have to keep shifting the goalposts so much further every time they want to be angry at something.
Well, it's kind of shit like that that they have to become the self parody at times.
Mm-hmm. Oh, sorry. Seeing the meme that you posted,
Yo,
I would make an addition to that, where Trump is the Nick Fury.
so I posted a meme into our Discord while Kyra was going off about
Yeah.
Biden. It is a statement that Andrew Tate, Tucker Carlson, and Elon Musk are rallying behind fucking Russell Brand, and one Twitter user at HaloMancer1 shout out said they're assembling the Avengers of sexual assault,
Yeah. And
which
Trump would 100% be their Nick Fury.
I'm assembling a team. It's going to be a
Be the
very great
best.
team. Only
The
the
best
best.
team.
The best team. We're going to go out there. We're going to make America great again. Not Spain, great again. Not Rome. Rome. I'm sorry. I was thinking like the Romanian sex traffic thing, so I was like quoting Trump when he called it Romania. It'd be just Rome. We're not gonna make Rome great again. We're not gonna make Fox News, fake news great again. It will only be America. Goddamn.
Another little interesting tidbit that came out this week on the whole Hunter Biden stuff.
Yo.
Hunter Biden filed a lawsuit against a former Trump aide, Garrett Ziegler, claiming that the aide accessed and then manipulated data from Hunter Biden's iPhone, which Hunter Biden then claims, uh, no, sorry, Ziegler accessed and manipulated data from Hunter Biden's iPhone, which Ziegler then claimed were on a laptop that was obtained by Bannon and Giuliani. So the laptop.
You had me going with the iPhone at first, and I was like, oh, finally, something new. And then you just had to bring up it's the
Yeah.
fucking laptop.
Apparently, details would have to come out, but apparently that is the laptop's information is like iCloud data and stuff that would have been dumped from a cell phone.
That's so dumb.
And allegedly, it was also manipulated because, of course, it was.
I just don't want to hear about this laptop ever again.
Yep.
I will be on my deathbed, and while I'm dying, you could whisper fucking Hunter Biden's laptop into my fucking ear, and I will scream as I go into oblivion in hell, and Satan will be like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Mm-hmm. Let me see if I can find some good news here. There's got to be something happy to end with.
Something happy to end with.
Uh, uh, a YouTuber and streamer who I follow got a new cat, and they named it Bow Bow.
You know, I'm almost getting a new cat. We've been looking at cats
Hell
lately.
yes.
Yeah,
Cats are great.
cats are pretty cool, man.
I'll
They're just,
say,
yo,
greatest fault of Starfield is you can't have a dog.
damn.
They don't have them. But I did find someone who had a pet lizard named Grumble. Highlight of my day. That was a good lizard.
In that case, I'm Miss Orion, and I've been a schmo.
And I'm Chiral, and Grumble is a good lizard.
This has been the Two Schmoes Show. We made it to an hour. We did not think we would get past an hour. We fucking did it.
Hell,